First things first, how's the off-season been going for you? I'm sure you're getting into shape right now for spring training. How are things going?
Yes, it's been a busy off-season. Went to Venezuela for a little bit and then came back home, and my wife and I moved into a new house, so with the holidays and everything. And then you throw training in the mix, so it's definitely been busy trying to fit everything in.
Now, we understand you just had a baseball camp, your website, www.larishcamps.com. Tell the fans a little bit about that.
Well, actually, we didn't. We had to cancel that, and it was one of those things where I was looking to get 10 high school baseball players in and kind of give them a unique experience. So hopefully we'll be able to do that in the future. We just kind of got late doing that. But we did have another thing I was involved in was a college recruiting talk, a free presentation that we put on at the high school I went to, just to try and give some kids a little insight into the recruiting process, because it can be pretty crazy and kind of overwhelming. So I mean, just those types of things are stuff I really enjoy trying to give back to kids that were going through the position that I was in growing up.
Now, do you still live out in the Arizona area?
I do, yes. And
of course, you played your college ball. Take us back to those days. Of course, we know you were famous for hitting the 3 home runs in the College World Series. I think it was against Nebraska, and you made Sports Center, everything that night. Take us back to that game.
I mean, it was pretty crazy thinking back. But it was such a fun time to be a part of a game like that in Omaha. And that was a big reason that I did go back for my senior year, was to be a part of something that special. So I was fortunate enough to experience that and go through it. And then the 3 home runs, it was like I was dreaming, because that's the type of games that you think about as a little kid. So it was very special.
And I think every fan here in Toledo that's kind of idolized you for the last couple of years, being a Mud Hen great, wants to know about your time at Arizona State with Dustin Pedroia. Obviously, a Major League Baseball great right now, second baseman for the Red Sox. Talk about Dustin a little bit.
I mean, he's a competitor. He's 5. He'll say he's 5'9", but he's probably about 5'7". But he's just a gamer. He's what you want in a teammate, what you want just as an overall person. He's a great guy, and I was fortunate enough to play with him, and also Andre Ethier was there at the same time, and Travis Buck. So we had 4 guys in 2003 that have got to the big leagues. And just playing with those guys, it's special, and it's neat to look back now to see where we've all gotten, and to know that we all came from that same place.
Can you explain to us what that was like to be able to play in the Pan Am Games?
I mean, it was a unique experience, because, going through high school baseball and college, I've never played internationally. So to get that experience and see the 25,000 Dominican fans going crazy down there, it was really cool, and to be playing for your country. I mean, there's nothing like that, wearing the USA across your chest. And again, that team was packed full of great players, with the Jared Weavers, the Justin Verlanders, Houston Street, Pedroia was on there too, and just to name a few of the guys. But it was one of those experiences that I'll never forget.
Take us back to your time here with the Toledo Mud Hens. I know a lot of fans liked you here. You were a home run hitter, a fan favorite here in Toledo. Larry Parrish, of course, he's now the hitting coach with the Atlanta Braves. Take us back to your time with the Hens and your experiences with Coach Parrish.
I mean, I loved playing in Toledo. I mean, the fans were great. The stadium was amazing, and it was just a fun time. We had a great group of guys who I still keep in touch with, and actually we're connecting up in Philadelphia with Eddie Bonine and Dane Sardina and Nate Bump, who all made their runs through there. So it's one of those enjoyable times with the team, the stadium, and the fans. And then, Larry Parrish obviously was a Mud Hen great, taking over with the wins category and everything. So he moved on, and it's kind of weird to not say Larry Parrish is the manager of Toledo, but we just wish him the best in Atlanta, and hopefully he's happy there.
Now, Jeff, what was it like that day that you were called up to play for the Tigers and made your major league debut?
I mean, it was really unexpected. I fortunately my family was all there, so it was exciting just to experience it with them and see the look on their faces. I think that brought me more excitement than actually getting called up. But it was it was so unexpected, and it was such a whirlwind. I don't think I was able to process it till probably a week later to what really happened. But I mean, it was a pretty special moment.
Looking back at some of those players the Tigers had when you played for them, the Magliore Ordonez's, Gary Sheffield's of the world, Kenny Rogers, Verlander, many great players that they had, Miguel Cabrera. What do you take away from your time with the Detroit Tigers?
Well, it was one of those teams where all the older guys were great veterans. I learned so much from Gary Sheffield and Placido Polanco and Carlos Guillen. They really went out of their way to help out and to try and talk to the younger players. And that was one of the I don't know if I'd say surprising things, but one of the cool things, because they have so much on their plate with trying to be successful. I mean, why would they take time away to help young guys? So it was one of those cool teams to be around where they would make the effort to come up and try and help you and give you some advice. So I was very grateful for the teammates that I had there.
Then, of course, you ended up in Oakland to end last season. Tell us a little bit about your time with the Oakland A's.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. That was a great clubhouse to be in. They have a lot of great young players. They had some great coaches. I was really impressed with Mike Gallego, who was the infield and third base coach with them. I learned a lot defensively from him, and Jim Scaling, who was the hitting coach, was awesome. And it was a great experience. I didn't think it was going to end that quick, but that's the way baseball goes, and it's on to a new experience. So hopefully I'll have much of the same with the Phillies. But it was a great group to be around.
And what do you think your role is going to be with the Phillies? I know they have Ryan Howard at first base. You played some first base in your career, some designated hitter. Obviously, in the National League, they don't have that position. I'm sure you're looking forward to going to camp and trying to make that team. Should be fun. But what do you see your role being with Philadelphia?
I don't really know. I would assume that if I made the big league club, I would be a bench player, utility, where they'd utilize that I can play first, third, and outfield. And then I think, as far as I understood, being in AAA is getting over at third base. So I guess it depends on how I hit to where I'm at. And it seems like a good opportunity, so hopefully I can make the most of it.
Now, Jeff, you've hit very well in the AAA level in the major leagues. You haven't fared as well. Tell the fan. I think the fans, for sometimes it's easy to point fingers and point fingers at guys and say, you know what, they're just not cut out for the major leagues. But obviously, that's not the case with you. Obviously, that's not the case with you. You were a huge talent coming out of Arizona State, and take us through why it's so tough to hit in the major leagues and what you need to do to become a productive player for the Philadelphia Phillies or whatever organization it may be down the road.
Well, I think fans today, especially in the fantasy world, everybody has the fantasy baseball mentality where it's numbers, numbers, numbers. And they don't look into the fact that when I'm in AAA, I know I'm going to be playing every day. And that's what I've done for the majority of my career. So when I've got to the big leagues, I've never played every day. So I'm now trying to adjust coming off the bench, pinch hitting, not getting an at bat for a week, and then trying to come up and hit major league pitching. It's as tough as it is to hit major league pitching every day. It's even tougher to get 10 at bats in 2 weeks. And that's what I don't think fans understand about the game is there aren't many bench players that are very successful. Now, the ones that stick around, they're mostly veteran players. And that's one role that I've tried to work on and get better at. But it's one of those things is I haven't been in the big leagues for a full season, so my comfort level there isn't what it is in AAA, where I know what my role is. So I think that's played a big part in that. I think I know I can be successful. It's just a matter of getting the opportunity. So that's really, in my mind, what it is.
Now take us through the life of a major leaguer. How frustrating is it going from day to day, not knowing where you're going to be playing, what level you're going to be at, whether you'll be in AAA or the major leagues, what position you'll be at? Take us through those daily frustrations.
Yeah, I mean, it can wear on you if you let it. That's the tough part of the game, is not letting those underlying factors affect your performance and your confidence. And it's one of those things you can't control. I can't control if somebody likes me, if somebody's going to give me at bats or not. All I can control is my preparation and my attitude, and that's what I've tried to do is, come each day with a positive attitude and work hard and just trust that my opportunity will come when the time presents itself. But it is very frustrating if you focus on that and you let it eat you up and you dwell on it. So I try not to do that. I just try to, like I said, have a positive attitude, come to the park and work and just trust that my opportunity will come.
And I'm sure it will. Jeff, in conclusion, the Philadelphia Phillies, it's been talked about this offseason, that pitching rotation, it could be the best ever. You look at some of those 70s Orioles rotations, the 90s Atlanta Braves rotations. I'm sure you grew up watching those teams. Where do you think this Phillies rotation stacks historically? And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun being out there in spring training watching these guys firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the news that my job just dropped, obviously, because I don't think anybody anticipated that would happen. But I mean, on paper, I think you can liken it to those 90 Braves teams. I mean that's a pretty dang good foursome that we got here, and it's going to be exciting to watch and hopefully be a part of. For some quick innings and get right back to hitting. So I definitely think it'll be an exciting year to see the four of them together.
All right, Jeff. Hey, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight. We wish you nothing but the best in the future. Of course, you being here in Toledo, we are definitely rooting for you all the way. We wish you the best. If you end up coming back in Toledo down the road, I'm sure we'll have you back on the show, catch up with you. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we wish you the best this year. And Jeff, Happy New Year to you and your family. Take care.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, that was Jeff Larish, first baseman now for the Philadelphia Phillies, former Toledo Mud Hen and Detroit Tiger, Oakland A. And Mark, what an interview that was with Jeff. It's fun talking with Major League ball players here on Sunday Sports Social.
Yeah, he gave a real good perspective on what it is to be a major leaguer, and that camp sounds very interesting that he puts on. I guess going to be a yearly sort of thing, for kids that are highly touted baseball players, but. It'll be interesting to see what his role is, and I like his attitude that he has towards the game of baseball, just finding what his role will be and then, going and doing the best that he can and having the mindset that I got to work hard to be able to get whatever I do. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jeff Larish again. We definitely appreciate Jeff coming on the show tonight, and we appreciate you listening. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Sunday Sports Social.